And happy 2023 to all our viewers out, whether you're online or you're watching DTC 3. And Jeff, first of all, Happy New Year. It's basketball time again.
It is. We're getting now to the crunch time, and it's almost district time for everybody.
Right. And when you look at that, I think, everybody plays everybody twice. You get an opportunity to see how these teams that hopefully that, have had a little barometer, I guess you could say, to see, are they going to be competitive? Can they win the district? If you're in the bottom third of a district, can you get up to the top four to get to region play, to have a good seed? All that's ready to unfold here in the next 6 weeks.
It is, and I was taking a look at District 7 AAA. Right now you've got White County, Cumberland County, and Livingston that we'll look at in a minute. But you wonder, who of these teams, like the DeKalbs, your Stones, are they going to pick it up in the second half of the season? Who's going to be the most dangerous going into late January, early February?
Let's go ahead and look at some scores. We'll start off with District 7A girls scoreboard. We want to thank Sonic Carthage. Pickett County played right before the New Year's break, beat Midway out of Kingston. Then last night you had Clark Range and a struggle. Really didn't shoot the ball well from three-point range, probably only 10-12% from Lamar Rogers' team. And the home of Janie Guffey, which is our boss, and we want to give the Lady Buffaloes out a shout out. They win 45-40 at Gordonsville, a very close game at halftime. Gordonsville hung tough. Of course, they're still without the freshman Callie Underwood, who's out with a concussion. Hopefully, I don't know when she'll return or if she'll return, but definitely a big piece of the puzzle missing for Coach Jake Dillard. Looking at Clay County at Red Bowling, that surprised me a little bit, Jeff. That game was at Red Bowling. Clay County, Matt Walker does a fantastic job for those Lady Bulldogs, and they go in and beat the Lady Bulldogs of Red Bowling on their home floor, 50-36, a big win for them.
It was a huge win, and if I'm not mistaken, I don't think the score indicates 14, but I think Clay County had quite a bit had a bigger lead than that.
Right. Pickett County wins over Clinton County, Kentucky, as they go north of the border. Let's go ahead and look at the standings. Clay County sitting there in Clark Range, 13-3, 12-4. Pickett at 11-3. Red Bowling Springs has hit the skid a little bit. I know they lost 3 games up to the Lady of the South Invitational, but just because Tara Pryor in her first year lost her opening district game against Clay County, I think they're still going to make some noise in that District 7A race.
I think this district's going to do a lot of shuffling, I think, because, if Callie comes back for Gordonsville, can Gordonsville, kind of move up there, right there, nothing's really solid. Even though you got Clay County and Clark Range off to good starts, right. The bottom 3 could still make some noise.
When you look at Gordonsville and Jake Dillard, they knocked off Clark Range a year ago. You'd rather get in that top 3 slots to where you don't have to play in that 4 or 5 game. But somebody's going to have to, and we'll just have to see how that shakes out. Let's go ahead and look at Sonic Carthage. District 7A boys. Pickett County gets the big win over Midway. Gordonsville, a close win over Clark Range. Clark Range, a very much improved team under second-year head coach Jeremy McIlvain out of Cookville. And, of course, that score a little bit, I guess, skewed in the fact that was a 6-point game, and Clark Range hits a 3 at the buzzer to make it look maybe closer than it was. But Clark Range, a much improved team, Jeff.
Yeah, they are, and when you think about Clark Range, you think about Lamar Rogers and the legacy that he has up there, and for the boys, they've had their struggles, especially in the last few years. But that's a program that's going to get turned around.
Clay County goes to Red Bowling, gets the big win. Of course, the Red Bowling 1-10. They played a lot of close games, but the Bulldogs have got their football players back now, got their feet kind of, used to the off the gridiron and on the hardwood. And, Clay County, no doubt a team that's going to make a run at that District 7A championship. Pickett County gets a 2-point win over Clinton County, Kentucky. Let's go ahead and look at the standings. Gordonsville and Clay County both with district wins a night ago. Gordon was sitting there at 11-4. They lost a couple of games at Greg Bibb, I'm sorry, back when they went to back to his alma mater and played. They won 1, lost 2 up there. Clay County sitting there at 11-3, Pickett at 10-5. And 2 teams that have been struggling at the bottom there, Clark Range and Red Boiling. At least right now, I'm not saying that Clark Range or Red Boiling can't beat one of those top 3 teams, but there seems to be a little, a little space between 3 and 4.
Yeah, I think so too, and it's going to be tough for them. But if any of those 2 teams can make that run, I think it could be Clark Range. Can they turn it around a little bit in January and February to where they could be kind of dangerous to one of those top 3 teams?
Red Boiling's got some talent. They don't have much depth. They only have 7 or 8 players, just like the girls, on their entire roster. So they've got to keep everybody healthy. Andrew Mullenix in his 2nd year at Red Boiling. I think that's the key for them. Let's go ahead and look at the Sonic of Carthage girls scoreboard from last night. Warren County beats Cannon County a little wider margin, and I thought that might be. Watertown gets the win over Boyd Christian, and Westmoreland, like we said before, and we'll say it again, when you go against Coach Peary and the Lady Eagles of Westmoreland, they D you up each night out. They held Portland to only 27.
And that's what you're going to get every night. You're going to get constant pressure. You're going to get the full court. It's like 90 feet of what.
Right. Let's go ahead and look at the boys. Let's look at the girls' standings first. Of course, the first district game, Westmoreland will be tangling with Cannon County and Smith County. I'm sorry, Smith County plays Cannon County. Westmoreland and Watertown will play. Watertown sitting there at 8-7. All these teams above 500, but I still say Westmoreland girls, and that's just from looking at the scores and seeing them the few times I have, that Westmoreland's the team to beat in District 6AA.
Yeah, they're the team to watch out for. Can anybody get them come district tournament time? You never know.
That's the question. Let's go ahead and look at now some scores from the district. Warren County beats Cannon County. Watertown big over Boyd Christian, and then Westmoreland gets a big win over Portland. That's a close rivalry there. That's probably about 15, 20 miles apart. Out Highway 52, I guess it is. And when you look at Coach Ferguson at Portland in his first year, he's made some strides, but you look at Cherie Abner and what she's done for Westmoreland Eagles, gone from what was the bottom of the district a year ago to probably the team to beat. As we look at the standings in District 6AA, Westmoreland sitting there at 12-6. They're the only team over 500. Everybody else under 500. And when you look at these teams, I think the one thing that kind of sticks out to me is the toughness of the schedule that Westmoreland has played this far.
Yeah, they have, and it's just going to get tougher between now and February, because they don't put a lot of weak teams on there. They want to keep themselves mentally tough, physically tough going into district tournament.
Let's go ahead and look at the girls' scores from 7 AAA. White County and Stone Memorial, a 58-44 game. Then Livingston over DeKalb, that game at Livingston. That game stayed pretty close until the late when they fouled Livingston. Livingston went the line and knocked down some free throws. They did miss some, but Jeff, the one thing in that I noticed in that game is when they missed them, they got the offensive board. They did that on 4 occasions in the fourth quarter. And, if you're trying to play catch up, that's something you've got to do, is secure that defensive rebound off the free throw miss.
Yeah, and giving up too many offensive, second and third chances offensively and off of free throws. I mean, it kills you every time. DeKalb had a chance. They beat Stone Memorial at Stone. They had a chance to go to Livingston to get a big win, but unfortunately, some things just didn't go their way in the fourth quarter.
York, a big win over Cumberland County, 49-36, and York girls, as we'll look at the standings in a minute, Upland big over Macon County at home, only scoring 18 points against the Upland Lady Bees, and that makes Justin Malvin smile.
I think it does, and another thing will make him smile, because it was like 24-12 at the half. Macon County held to 1 free throw in the third quarter.
Right. Let's go ahead and look at the standings. You got White County sitting on top there. They're at 15-3, and you look at 4 very quality teams in White County, Cumberland County, Livingston Academy, and Upland. not to take discredit for DeKalb, Stone Memorial, or Macon, but they're going to have to play some awfully good basketball to keep up with those top 4 teams.
Night in and night out in that district, it is tough, and it's tough to win on the road. White County 3-0, 2 on the road that they have won. They have got wins at Stone and DeKalb. Coach Dodgson feeling good last night. Girls now 15-3 on the season, and doing it out without Celeste Reed, who at DeKalb suffered a shot, took a shot to the mouth, and has had to have some dental work redone.
When you look at the teams, and of course you look at Upperman, finished 4th a year ago in the district regular season to go on and win the state championship. That could happen again in this district. I feel like it's that strong.
Yeah, in Upperman, they were kind of up and down a little bit, but something happened in February. Once the second season started, they were just unbeatable. Of course, late January and into the regular season in early February, they were able to close out on a good winning note, and that carried over.
Let's go ahead and look at the scores. Stone Memorial a little more one-sided than I thought it would be over White County, a 15-point win. Livingston, who trailed for a lot of that game to DeKalb County, but Livingston gets the win to remain undefeated. As we'll look at the standings in just a minute, Cumberland County gets a big win over York, and then Upperman over Macon.
And you talked about that Livingston-DeKalb. I really thought that DeKalb was going to get that win on the road at Livingston, and I was kind of surprised to see that final score pop up there.
Let's go ahead and look at the standings. Looking Livingston on top, 14-0, best start they've been off to in a while. They always play a tough schedule. They've done that again, and head coach Jimmy Miller, a former player there. Of course, Jimmy's daddy, if I'm not mistaken, was Howard Miller, longtime coach there at Livingston after he left Rickman, much as Larry Looper, after he left Rickman, went to Livingston, was very, very successful. Of course, then, when you look at Leslie Riddle, Leslie Smith, and it looks at Livingston girls and boys are back and in having the best seasons they've had in several years. But you look, I know that when we look at this boys standings a little bit, I know those top 3, yes, they're tough, and you can tell that by the records, but I don't know that you can just discount those bottom 4 teams there.
No, and a lot of people have said that they're surprised about White County. They've lost 5 in a row, and it's but this is a tough district. Upperman comes and gets a win in Sparta and a tough one against Stone. A lot of people thought that was going to be a lot closer game, but Stone Memorial I think is going to be the team to beat in there, and those top 4 are playing each other Friday night.
That should be some fun action. We'll have an interview with DeKalb County head coach Brandy Alley when we return here to the Box Score, sponsored to you by Carthage Safeway.
Your trusted friend for all your grocery needs in Smith County is Carthage Safeway, your home-owned and home-operated supermarket. From the delicious USDA steaks in their meat department to the freshest produce around, Carthage Safeway is proud to serve you and your family. Todd and Angela Skurlock and everyone at Carthage Safeway are always there with a friendly smile and a helping hand. Great service, prices, and selection. That's Carthage Safeway, 80 Dixon Springs Highway, Carthage.
From payroll and bookkeeping to expert tax preparation and advice, H&R Block is ready to work for you. For the year-round services you need and the one-on-one attention you deserve, partner with H&R Block Business Services. You focus on your business, we'll handle the books. Call today to make an appointment with our Carthage, Smithville, or Woodbury office. H&R Block Business Services, helping your business prosper with a unique combination of services, expertise, and convenient locations.
Nearstar Middle Tennessee Mines in Gordonsville is hiring. We have open positions for master, certified, and experienced heavy-duty maintenance techs, maintenance supervisor, entry-level and experienced miners and exploration infill drillers, grade operator, electricians, laboratory and metallurgical technician, senior metallurgist, and more. We offer competitive wages, excellent benefits, PTO, holiday pay, exceptional 401k, and lots more. Make the most of your future and your career. Join the excellent team at Nearstar Middle Tennessee Mines in Gordonsville.
Preston Brothers Construction knows what it takes to get your next building project completed the right way and the way that you want it done. As a licensed, bonded, and insured general contractor serving Woodbury and surrounding counties, you can trust Preston Brothers to put their many years of experience to work for you. For help with the design, construction, or management of your next residential or commercial building project, there's only one team to call: Preston Brothers Construction, 615-563-2885.
Life moves fast, and that means all of your technology should too. DTC is proud to be your local technology partner, helping you connect what matters most, no matter where you are or what you do.
Realize your inner superhero with faster internet from DTC. Get a $50 bill credit when you sign up or upgrade your internet. We're talking unlimited plans with speeds up to 1 gig.
DTC Communications, connecting what matters most.
And welcome to the Box Score. Jeff Barnes along with Terry Collins, and we've got DeKalb County Lady Tiger head coach Brandy Alley with us. And Coach, first of all, I know you're in your first year. We appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Coach, I know that district play has started for you and really will ramp up here in the month of January and in February. You're playing in an extremely tough district. In fact, the district that boasts the state champion from a year ago.
Yes, our district is very tough one. There's competition with it every night, and just kind of seeing who's going to pull out what game every time we match up.
Coach, you went to Cannon County and got a win earlier in the season, a game I got to see. Then you got to play them at home. Didn't play as well, I know, as you would like, but it seems like inconsistency has kind of bothered you this year.
There has definitely been some inconsistency, but, something I keep telling our girls is it's our freshman year all over again for every one of us, because we're all trying to find the style that is going to be who we're going to be, as a first year, and you changing how things play and getting your name and associated with it, and just the girls buying in, and there's just going to be some up and downs, and old habits will come back from both. So we're fighting through it, and here in the last little bit, we've been doing a lot better with it.
Coach, over the Christmas break, you had Lebanon. You participated in that tournament down there. Got a couple of wins. Had to make you feel good because right into the next week, you had another tough one at Maryville.
Definitely. We had a really good run at Lebanon. We got to fix a lot of details and spend time working on us. And then we also had Derek Collins out with finishing up a concussion and Katie Griffith out with a shoulder. So it gave some other kids some chances to step up and take on new roles, and leading us into that Maryville tournament. And the Maryville tournament, we played Minden Central, which is a really, really good team. And it did not go well for us. We had some really good learning opportunities, but the score did not reflect that. But we've spent this Christmas break or this time away from school just growing as a team and taking each game head on and learning what we can from each team we play.
Coach, when you look at your team a year ago, of course, you had Katie Farrell. She was a do-everything, great offensive, defensive player, good assister, good rebounder. It's tough to replace somebody like that. And I know Ella Van Vranken has tried to step up her role as a scorer, but she did so much for you, a very difficult player to replace.
Katie Farrell's definitely a player to replace, but good thing about me, I guess, is that I didn't get to actually coach her. So I got to look at not trying to replace her, but who I have in front of me. And so I think some of my girls had some struggle thinking, oh, what's going to happen without Katie? But they also had a chance to sit there and go, well, what can I do? who can I be? And so some kids are still working on finding an identity, but they've done a really good job of stepping up.
Coach, last night against Livingston, getting back into district play, the score, you were pretty, y'all stayed with them close in the first half. I think it was like a 4-point deficit at the half, but in the second half, it looks like Livingston kind of got on a run there.
Our girls played extremely hard against Livingston. They had some opportunities. They have a sophomore Butler who had a really good game against us. We started fouling towards the end and trying to go for steals and have these other little things. So it kind of gave us where we kind of lost some scoring opportunities with that and gave them a chance to take the lead a little bit farther. But it was really fun to watch our girls compete against them and have the fight, and we brought it back within 2 or 3 points and multiple times during the game. So I think we played hard, got after it, and our freshman Chloe Van Franken stepped up quite a bit and went to the rim really, really hard. Made some good plays happen for us.
Coach, a lot of our viewers may not know the history for you. So I think you went to school at Riverdale, if I remember right, and were a part of a lot of successful teams over there. So give us a little 411 on yourself.
I did graduate from Riverdale. I also went to Wilson Central Mount Juliet when I was in high school. Got to be part of that national championship team from Riverdale, and then from there I went on to play college ball at Faulkner University. And after that, I started working at White County with Coach Dodgen, then Cumberland County with Roddick Miller the next year, and then the next year for the last 2 years we've been with Mike Buck up at Stone Memorial.
Coach, you when you look at that rap sheet, I guess you could say, of the coaches you've been with, some very, very successful coaches. When you look at the 3 that you've helped over the last 5 or 6 years, people that are not only very good in their district, but statewide well known.
Yes, I've definitely taken a lot from every single one of them. And then also having my whole family who's been coaches and been around ball, it's definitely been a part of me since I was able to talk. I know I was talking about basketball. So,
Coach, you're in your first year, and I know that it's took the girls a little while to get used to you and you to them. And you really want to be playing your best basketball when January and February comes along, especially as tournaments get near. But there's not an easy night out when you look at your district. When you look at 7 AAA with the quality of teams that are in there, I know that you may not get the results that you want, but I think playing these tough teams night in and night out makes you stronger in the end.
Absolutely. One thing that I keep focusing on is how can we get better every time we step on the court? Whether that be we go shoot for 5 minutes or we play best teams in the state. I focus on how everybody develops and grows, and I think the rest of the season is going to be some of our hardest basketball, but I think our girls are going to play some of their hardest basketball. They're going to get after it a lot more, and they're going to be ready for the challenges.
Coach, there's no doubt if you can get out of your district, you can make a deep run. I mean, I know there's going to be 3 good teams that are going to have to stay at home that are not going to make the region, and I'm sure that's got to be a goal of yours just to get to the region tournament.
It definitely is. That's the next step. So everything is one step at a time. So right now our team is focused on the next step is just beating Macon County. So every time we can make that next level. So region is the next biggest goal we've got. But like you said, this is one of the toughest districts around. It is a tough goal to achieve, but every team in our district has that same goal. We all know that we've played such good competition throughout that it would be difficult for anybody playing us moving forward. So,
starting off 2023, that's a tough one because you had Livingston last night. You got the long trip to Macon County coming up this Friday night, and then at Warren County on Saturday. And Coach, the time on that I know has been changed to a 3 o'clock tip-off. That's a tough stretch going from a long road trip, and then you got to kind of bounce back really quick for an afternoon game with Warren County.
Yes, we definitely have been trying to think about what's the best way to approach having those back-to-back games. But, you know, it's just going to be one game at a time. Just focus at what's hand. And that's, if we can keep our mentality right, we'll be fine.
Coach, when you look at your team, you play a lot of freshmen and sophomores. Yes, you have a few juniors and seniors, but a lot of freshmen and sophomores are getting valuable time, which should help you down the road. And I know right now, maybe they make those mistakes that they want a year or two down the road for you. But kind of you got to learn by fire, I guess, when you play these players in order for them to get experience.
Absolutely. My first year with Cumberland County and Watertown Miller, we had almost an all-freshman team, which is the girls that are seniors this year. So you get to, and last year with Coach Buck was almost the same thing. So I've spent a lot of time just working on, all right, well, you're going to have to deal with some of the young mistakes, so they've not been there, but here's what the outcome could be. And so just putting some energy into the younger girls and giving them the chances and letting them make mistakes while they're surrounded by some really good juniors and Maddie Martin as a senior, it just shows us like, hey, it's okay to make mistakes. It's just how are we going to play through them? And then hopefully down the road, those mistakes will turn into a lot fewer mistakes.
Coach, after this week, you've got, after Warren County, 6 of your next 7 is going to be at home. And, looking at the district right now, could give you a chance if you can, get some home wins. It could, put you right up in that top 4.
Well, that's the goal, is just, be on our court. We'll be able to get the wins that we're supposed to get and sneak a couple that we may not, people might not think we should be competing with. And so each time the girls step on the court, I'm wanting them to get better, and hopefully we approach it that way and we keep improving. And, being on our home court for a lot of games will improve our chances of feeling comfortable out there ready to play.
Coach, the atmosphere that you had in the Cannon County game, I know it maybe not be as ramped up, because that's such a big rivalry. But, just as a basketball fan, which is basically what I am, that was fun to be a part of. The gym packed and both fans into it. I know that's got to be the situation that you want your young ladies in, to be in that heat of the moment and have to perform. I think that does nothing but make you better down the road when you get in that enthusiasm. It's not like a summer camp game where people aren't really paying attention to you and your game, but to be in that atmosphere was pretty special.
I love the support that DeKalb County has shown. I love how almost every game we have a really good crowd show up. Everybody's supportive. Everybody is cheering these girls on, and it's just been awesome to see how much people come out to the game. So, and the crowd does a lot. And so right now I have a lot of people rallying in behind our girls, and that's continuing to push them. And we wouldn't be successful without the support we're seeing right now. We wouldn't be competing well and all that without the support we're seeing from the crowd. And just every night having that there and having people come up to us and say, hey, I saw this score. How did this girl do? Well, we've been watching this. It just means the world to everybody involved in our program.
Coach, you have one of the premier players in the district in Elva and Rankin. Of course, I know she's outstanding in her field as far as track, but in basketball, she can go left, she can go right, she can shoot the 3. She does a lot of things for you.
She absolutely does. And one of the best things that she does for us is she helps lead the team. So everything she does on the court is very valuable, but she's playing a key part in, like we talked about earlier, leading some of the younger teams, leading some of the younger players. How are they going to be reacting to it? So Ella has a pretty calm head when it comes out, and she has this mentality of she's going to play hard no matter what she's doing. And that's something to look up to. So everything she does on the court, I don't have to describe, people can see it, but just watching her be a leader and grow in her leadership role has been something really special too.
Well, Coach Brandy Alley, we appreciate you visiting with us here on the Box Score, and best of luck to you and DeKalb County.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
We'll have an interview with Watertown Purple Tigers head coach Jeff Keller of the Lady Purple Tigers will return. As we remind you, you're watching the Box Score, brought to you by Carthage Safeway.
Nearstar Middle Tennessee Mines in Gordonsville is hiring. We have open positions for master, certified, and experienced heavy-duty maintenance techs, maintenance supervisor, entry-level and experienced miners and exploration infill drillers, grade operator, electricians, laboratory and metallurgical technician, senior metallurgist, and more. We offer competitive wages, excellent benefits, PTO, holiday pay, exceptional 401k, and lots more. Make the most of your future and your career. Join the excellent team at Nearstar Middle Tennessee Mines in Gordonsville.
Your trusted friend for all your grocery needs in Smith County is Carthage Safeway, your home-owned and home-operated supermarket. From the delicious USDA steaks in their meat department to the freshest produce around, Carthage Safeway is proud to serve you and your family. Todd and Angela Skurlock and everyone at Carthage Safeway are always there with a friendly smile and a helping hand. Great service, prices, and selection. That's Carthage Safeway, 80 Dixon Springs Highway, Carthage.
Preston Brothers Construction knows what it takes to get your next building project completed the right way and the way that you want it done. As a licensed, bonded, and insured general contractor serving Woodbury and surrounding counties, you can trust Preston Brothers to put their many years of experience to work for you. For help with the design, construction, or management of your next residential or commercial building project, there's only one team to call: Preston Brothers Construction, 615-563-2885.
From payroll and bookkeeping to expert tax preparation and advice, H&R Block is ready to work for you. For the year-round services you need and the one-on-one attention you deserve, partner with H&R Block Business Services. You focus on your business, we'll handle the books. Call today to make an appointment with our Carthage, Smithville, or Woodbury office. H&R Block Business Services, helping your business prosper with a unique combination of services, expertise, and convenient locations.
Here's normal internet speed. Here's the gig difference. Average speed, gig. Not enough speed, gig speed. With gig internet from DTC, everything's different. Video streaming is a breeze. Music and photos fly. And gaming gets real with no data limits. That's the gig difference. Call or visit DTC online and get your gig today.
Here with Coach Keller of the Watertown Lady Tigers. And Coach, I know the district play is getting ready to start, I guess, on Friday night for you. Everything's kind of a prelude up until this point, but it looks like it's going to be a pretty wide open District 6AA race. Of course, there's only 4 teams involved.
Yeah, there's a lot of good teams, or obviously the 4 teams that we got, but the 3 opponents we have will certainly be tough. They all do a really good job in what they do, and our hands will certainly be full when we play them.
Coach, when you look, I've got to see you, I guess, on 3 or 4 occasions this year. First of all, let's talk about the AFLAC tournament a little bit. I know a lot of people have a lot of work into that. You're in 3 different gyms. You've got, I guess, 24 different teams that played over there. That had to be a pretty special experience. You got a great setup there at Watertown. In fact, you have your auxiliary gym as nice as most people's gym. And then you got your gym, and then you got where Watertown High School used to play over at the junior high. So 3 great venues to hold that tournament.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we're very, very fortunate to have the facilities that we do. Obviously, like you just said, the auxiliary gym is a big plus, and obviously both teams use it to practice, but it's obviously it's good to be able to have that venue to play in. And then the middle school gym is a very nice facility as well. And so it just worked out well for us that we have these different facilities that, and all obviously in close proximity. That's another big thing that helps that tournament. and to get these teams in, and just it's good for us as far as drawing people in, but it's also good for us to the competition that we'll play.
Coach, when you look at your team this year, I guess the one thing that sticks out to me is scoring offensively and being consistent with that. You play so hard on the defensive end. You've got girls that, they may not average 3 or 4 points a game, but they do other things to make your team better. And I know now in your second year as head coach, that's got to please you, and there's no magic button you can push to say, okay, we're going to be a good offensive team tonight, or we're going to do, we're going to shoot 50% from threes, and we're going to shoot 60% from twos, and we're going to hit a lot of free throws. But that constant defensive effort that your team gives, I think is going to pay dividends for you.
I hope so. That's one of the great things about our kids is that they, that they're going to compete and play hard every night. And defense does not require skill. It's just effort. And, it's a credit to these kids that, a lot of them are in their second year in the program, although we do have about 3 others that are playing for us that are in the first year in the program. And, but it's a credit to all these kids, especially the ones that have returned, that they have a full grasp of what we want to do. And, they compete, they play hard, and they give themselves a chance every night because of what they do on the defensive end. And that's a credit to them for sure.
Coach, you got off to a kind of a tough start at 0-5, but since then you've won 7 of your last 9. But you play a tough schedule, and that just gets you, that much more tuned up to get ready for district play.
Yeah, we're actually 8-7. Everybody thinks we're 7-7. We actually won one of the games. We got to try to get all the wins we can here, but we actually won one of the games up in the when we were at Whitwell in that tournament up there. And so we're actually 8-7 right now. But, all these games that we have played we've had to compete and play hard. You look at all the scores. They're fairly close in all of them. And, it just prepares you for things like the district play. I think if you play an easy schedule, that doesn't really prepare you for district play, especially who I mentioned earlier, who we have to compete against. And so, hopefully that, going through the trials and errors that we have in this, prepares us in a way where, we can play at a high level, and that's what we're trying to do.
All right, Coach Keller, I'm going to have to prod on you a little bit right here. Your assistant coach from a year ago was the principal at Watertown High School, Darren Brown. Old, gray-headed looking guy, and then you go with this Luttrell girl. But you had to have at least a step up there, getting rid of Brown and bringing her on board.
Well, Mr. Brown did a great job for us last year, so there's no question about that. I'm not stupid enough to rip my boss. He did a really great job for us in helping lay the foundation of what we were trying to do. And Coach Price this year has really stepped forward in ways where helping us with on the floor and off the floor stuff, and she's going to be a very good teacher of the game. You can already see that, and she's already doing that, especially within our practices. And she's a very good teacher, very good at observing things and picking things up. And to me, it was a gold mine. And the other guy we got was Aaron Shuck, who's also a great teacher of the game and very knowledgeable. And so, just very, very fortunate that we were able to find two really good assistants that could replace Mr. Brown, who obviously, like I said, did a great job last year.
Coach, Darren and I go way back and consider him to be a really close friend. And the one thing I will say about Darren Brown, and I know he's the principal, but he supports athletics, and it's got to be well for you to have that kind of support from the top down, not only for football, but for soccer or tennis or whatever sport that Watertown's involved in. he is there to support it. And, I salute him for that because he puts in a lot of extra hours. All administrators do, whether you're assistant principal, athletic director, head principal, whatever your job may be. And I got to give Darren kudos for that. There's probably nights he doesn't feel like going to a game, but he's there to support you.
Cannot say enough about the support that he provides because that's not the case at every school. And your administration is huge as far as the type of support that the coaches feel that they have, that somebody will basically have their back, and he will, and he supports us endlessly, and cares about all the kids, cares about the coaches, and like you said, invests so much time. It's unbelievable how much time he invests, and it does not go unnoticed by every single head coach here, how much time he puts in, and we are all very, very appreciative of what he does.
Coach, you start 2023 with a sweep of Boyd Christian, but now it's time for district and a very tough Lady Eagle team coming in, or actually, yes.
Yeah, Westmoreland is really good. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Coach Perry does a great job over there. They're very skilled. They're a hard-nosed defensive team. He runs good stuff offensively. Players have an understanding of the game. Just does a phenomenal job, and for a number of years they've been, very, very good program over there. And so, yeah, our hands are going to be full. There's no question about it. But at the same time, I know our girls will certainly be ready to play and are looking forward to the challenge.
Coach, with only 6 district games total for your entire regular season, each one is critical when it comes to the standings. Whether you finish first or whether you finish fourth. I mean, we've seen a lot of parity, maybe not the balance that we had thought, because Westmoreland was kind of heads above, I guess, everybody else last year, but they were challenged on several occasions inside the district.
Yeah, especially when you got to the district tournament, that's really where it showed out. The competition really stepped forward, and that's the thing is you got to come ready to play every night in district play. There is no night off. If you don't come to play, you're going to get run out of the gym. And, so we know from our standpoint that, every night for us is going to be a dogfight. There are no illusions that it won't be. And so, we're just going to have to come ready to play and be mentally locked in and focused and, and see what happens from there. But that's, there's, like I said, there's no misgivings about what's in front of us and with who we have to play.
Coach, you talk about the district kind of on that line, 6 district games total, but take a look at what you've got whenever you're not in district play. You got a tough schedule there: DeKalb, White House, Trousdale. So it doesn't get any easier between now and the end of and near the end of the regular season.
No, we definitely didn't schedule Cupcake City. We definitely have teams that are going to make us work, and again, it's kind of like in district play where there's no night off, and there's no night off in non-district play too, because each of these teams that most of them we've played, we haven't played White House yet, but we know that our hands are going to be full there. The first game with Trousdale was, just back and forth, and Cascade, they'll be ready to play for sure against us. And, again, it doesn't really, for us, it doesn't really matter if it's district play or a non-district game play. We know we have to come out with the same mentality, ready to play every night, because if we don't, we can't just show up and win. I'll just put it that way. We have to be ready to play every night. And to this point, our kids have, to their credit.
Coach, when you look at Westmoreland and Coach Perry and what he's done up there, I guess the thing that I'm most impressed with is the fundamental defensive game plan they have night in, night out. because you see them hold teams. You saw what they did last year to Smith County in the region tournament, holding them to 20 points or less. You see a lot of games where they're holding teams to 25, 30 points. That's very difficult to do, and without that structure on defense and being so solid and not really having any holes, I think that's what makes Westmoreland so good.
Yeah, there's no question about it. I mean, especially when you get to, tournament play, a lot of teams can kind of know what you're going to do and all that, and it can be a little bit more challenging to score. But if you're not solid defensively, those holes will be exploited. And that's the great thing about their program is they'll be fundamentally sound offensively, but defensively, they'll get after you. They will get after you and make you work for everything you get. And especially when you do that in tournament play, you're going to give yourself a great chance of moving on, especially the fact of, what they can do offensively. So it's, to his credit and their program's credit, they've had that solidified for a number of years. And they, no question, that's paid off for them.
Well, Coach Jeff Keller, we appreciate you visiting with us, and best of luck to the Watertown Lady Purple Tigers for the rest of the 2023 season.
Well, I appreciate it, and thank you so much for having me on.
We'll take a break, and when we return, we'll have some scores and look at the upcoming games from the area. As we remind you, watching the box score, brought to you by Carthage Safeway.
Do you ever worry about the safety of your home when you leave? Or at night while you're sleeping? Then give your home a professional security makeover with help from DTC Security.
For just $49.99, get a system with a touch keypad, 3 window or door sensors, motion detector, key fob, and standard installation. Don't put off this important decision.
Contact us and start your home's DTC Security makeover today.
Preston Brothers Construction knows what it takes to get your next building project completed the right way and the way that you want it done. As a licensed, bonded, and insured general contractor serving Woodbury and surrounding counties, you can trust Preston Brothers to put their many years of experience to work for you. For help with the design, construction, or management of your next residential or commercial building project, there's only one team to call: Preston Brothers Construction, 615-563-2885.
From payroll and bookkeeping to expert tax preparation and advice, H&R Block is ready to work for you. For the year-round services you need and the one-on-one attention you deserve, partner with H&R Block Business Services. You focus on your business, we'll handle the books. Call today to make an appointment with our Carthage, Smithville, or Woodbury office. H&R Block Business Services, helping your business prosper with a unique combination of services, expertise, and convenient locations.
If you're a commercial driver looking for a company to call home, Huff and Puff Trucking is the company for you. Our employees are professional and dedicated individuals that take pride in what they do. We offer an outstanding pay package with a dispatch structure that maximizes your home time. To learn more about a company that knows you by name and treats you like family, call us at 1-800-965-5033 or visit our website at huffpufftrucking.com.
Nearstar Middle Tennessee Mines in Gordonsville is hiring. We have open positions for master, certified, and experienced heavy-duty maintenance techs, maintenance supervisor, entry-level and experienced miners and exploration infill drillers, grade operator, electricians, laboratory and metallurgical technician, senior metallurgist, and more. We offer competitive wages, excellent benefits, PTO, holiday pay, exceptional 401k, and lots more. Make the most of your future and your career. Join the excellent team at Nearstar Middle Tennessee Mines in Gordonsville.
Your trusted friend for all your grocery needs in Smith County is Carthage Safeway, your home-owned and home-operated supermarket. From the delicious USDA steaks in their meat department to the freshest produce around, Carthage Safeway is proud to serve you and your family. Todd and Angela Skurlock and everyone at Carthage Safeway are always there with a friendly smile and a helping hand. Great service, prices, and selection. That's Carthage Safeway, 80 Dixon Springs Highway, Carthage.
And welcome back to the box score. Jeff Barnes along with Terry Collins, Justin Malden doing all the button pushing that I would have no clue is what to do.
Me neither.
But he learned from a good Nick Noakes, right?
Yes, he did. Nick's a good guy.
We want to wish everybody a Happy New Year. Hopefully you had a good holidays. I'm in favor of the 65-degree weather versus that 0.
Yeah, better than the 0, but I still like the occasional, the 40-degree, 30-degree,
right.
Not too cold.
Let's go ahead and look at the upcoming games we've come in the area. A lot of these are district matchups. Of course, on Tuesday and Friday, you get district matchups normally. And then on Saturday, Monday, Thursday, you'll get the non-district games. You got Clay County at Pickett. That boys game should be a great one. You got Red Boiling Springs coming to Gordonsville. That game will be the Huff and Puff Trucking Game of the Week on DTC Sports. And you got Monterey at Clark Range. Of course, Monterey at District 5 AA. They're going to Clark Range. Katie Hopkins, who was on Monterey's team a year ago, has gone to Clark Range. Monterey, a very much improved team. That'll be a battle up in Fentress County.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. And could it be a preview of maybe in the region tournament coming up?
Well, it could be. Of course, Monterey is AA and Clark Range is single A, but still, I think that playing games like this, Jeff, and I think that's the reason Lamar Rogers and these other coaches do that. It gets you ready for district tournament, get you ready for region tournament. And I think, that's the one reason that they play. People don't remember your record. They remember how far you went in the tournaments. That's, you could go 25-0 in the regular season, but if you lost first game of the district and didn't get to the region, people wouldn't remember that probably.
No, and a tough one was if you go all the way to probably a region semifinal game and that's your only loss. That's a tough one.
Gordonsville at Macon County, Clark Range at Oneida on Saturday night. Looking at some other games that are coming up next week, Gordonsville at Pickett County, traveling up to Byrdstown. Be interesting to see if Gordonsville boys, how they square up with Pickett County. I think, Coach Greg Bibb has got a solid team. They've got to take that next step if they want to get that top 2 in the district.
And a chance for them to move up close to that spot if they can get that win over Pickett County.
If I didn't have a DTC game next Tuesday night, that York Institute at Clay County game, that'll be one to go to.
That's going to be good.
4 good teams right there, and it should be a great one in Salina. And then Red Boiling Springs traveling up to Clark Range. That girls game has a star beside it because, Tara Pryor trying to get her team in that top slot or second slot in the district. That's if they could go on the road and sneak out a win, would be big.
Oh yeah, if they can go into Clark Range, and that's not a easy place to play. Lamar Rogers doesn't make it easy for you.
Right.
So can Red Boiling Springs pull off an upset? We'll find out.
All right. Upcoming games out of District 6 AA. You got Cannon County at Smith County. On Friday night, you got Westmoreland, Watertown. Of course, all 4 teams seeing their opener of the district.
And a couple of good games, especially the Westmoreland Watertown game. Now, the Westmoreland girls, on a good roll, they could, they're going to be tough. But Watertown, if you've seen their scores, they like to keep the score low. This could be interesting.
Definitely could. And the Cannon and Smith, of course, that could be 2 good ball games for over Bill Laird Gym in Carthage. Let's go ahead and look at the Monday and Tuesday night of next week's action. Smith County travels to Red Boiling. They've already played them at home. Trousdale County will travel up to Sumner County and play Westmoreland. Then on Tuesday night, you've got Cannon County at Community and Watertown at DeKalb County. When you look at these games, of course, you're looking at non-region for these first 2 days of next week. But I still think, when you look at the big picture, Jeff, you want to start playing your best basketball. Your rotation should be set. Hopefully you hadn't had injuries. Of course, Smith County, when you go back to their girls, Marissa Spivey goes to the doctor on Friday morning. She's hoping to get released with that arm injury that she suffered back in the Trousdale County game down in Hartsville. So she's hoping to, and that could be a big boost for Matt Farrell's team if Spivey, because she does so many things for them, if she were able to turn. But right now, I think, getting over the injury bug, hopefully COVID, staying away from that. could be the key is how some of these teams get wins or don't get wins.
No, exactly. You talk about injuries. I know there's a lot of teams that's battling the your sprains this time of the year, and also hopefully no flu going around either, because I know that came right around mid-fall, and so hopefully everybody can stay healthy between now and the middle of February.
Let's go ahead and look at the District 7 AAA, the upcoming games. You've got DeKalb traveling up to Lafayette to play Macon County, Stone Memorial at Upperman. A much anticipated boys game there. Livingston Academy at Cumberland, but County up in Crossville. But there's not going to be a night off. When you look at that, whether it's girls or whether it's boys, when you look at these teams facing off against each other, 6 of the 7 in action on Friday night, in some very big ball games, which could determine, not only just a win, just one win. As we saw last year in that girls' standings, there was only about a couple of games separating 1st through 5th.
Exactly. DeKalb County, Coach Alley and the girls, maybe they can go up there and get a much-needed district win Friday night. Upperman, they're going to be strong. Stone Memorial's had their, kind of like some chemistry issues, but that Livingston Academy, Cumberland County, that's going to be a doozy up in Crossville coming up Friday night.
Definitely will be. On Saturday night, you got Gordonsville traveling up to Lafayette to play Macon County as they play back-to-back home games, and then White County paying the return visit to Spencer and playing Van Buren County.
And how about this one? White County and Cookeville Friday night.
Yeah.
It's going to be loud up there in Sparta.
Definitely should be. Let's go ahead and look at the games on Tuesday night. You got Upperman at Cumberland County, Watertown at DeKalb, Stone at Macon, and then White County at Livingston. That girls game, really both games. I look for both of those to be close affairs. That's down through the years. That has always been the Battle of 111 and always been a special rivalry, whether you're in football, basketball, whatever sport.
And exactly, coming up Tuesday night, White County, Livingston. If Livingston pulls off the upset, that's going to be for first place between White County and Livingston. Stone and Macon, both of those teams need a badly needed win. DeKalb, stepping out of the district, but that's a tough one right there with, just down the road with Watertown. Upperman, Cumberland County, girls game Tuesday night. It's going to be another good one.
Right. Our featured games are going to be Red Boiling Springs at Gordonsville, a big district, and that'll be on Friday night when they play. And then the replay will be on Tuesday, January 10th, Wednesday, January 11th, Thursday, January 12th at 7 p.m., and then Friday, January 13th at 1 p.m. And then we've got another game for you next Tuesday up at Smithville as Watertown will go up to play DeKalb County. Watertown, of course, in 6AA, DeKalb County in 7 AAA. Your replay times are on Friday, January 13th at 7 p.m., Saturday, January 14th at 1 p.m., and then Sunday and Monday, January 15th and 16th at 7 p.m. But this has developed into a pretty good rivalry. These teams didn't play several years ago, but now it's just a short trip up Highway 70. And, you got to give Watertown credit. They're stepping up to a bigger classification. But like Coach Keller said in her interview earlier today, he really wants his team to improve and feels like playing a tough non-district schedule will do that.
And it will. This is going to be a good test and a chance if, can Watertown go up to Smithville, and that's a tough place to play. Can they pull off the upset? We'll find out.
That'll put the wraps on the first edition of the Box Score in 2023 for Justin Malden. And for Jeff Barnes, I'm Terry Collins. Good night on the Box Score.